7 stars. That's what Egypt were told to remove from their shirts before they even set foot on the pitch. 7 Africa Cup of Nations titles: 1957, 1959, 1986, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. More continental championships than any nation in African football history. Stars that sit above the Egyptian crest as proof of what this team has achieved across 7 decades of football. FIFA told them to take them off 2 days before their opening match. Egypt complied, because what choice did they have? That is the context nobody is talking about. By the 92nd minute of Belgium versus Egypt at Lumen Field in Seattle, the conversation had moved somewhere else entirely. It had moved to a penalty that was not given, to a coach who lost his composure on the touchline in a way that coaching composure rarely allows in public, to a moment that has detonated across every Arabic language football platform this morning and shows absolutely no sign of cooling down. This is the full story, and it is bigger than a referee's decision. Let's start with the match, because the football itself was genuinely compelling. Belgium and Egypt had never met at a World Cup before. Mohamed Salah is 33, and in what many believe will be his final tournament, he is leading the Egyptian attack. Kevin De Bruyne was orchestrating Belgium from deep. Romelu Lukaku, a man who has been written off more times than most players score goals, was wearing the captain's armband in what may also be his last World Cup. Belgium took the lead. Lukaku. Of course it was Lukaku. The man who has outscored every Belgian in history, who carries his nation's attacking burden with a certainty that borders on the inevitable. His goal gave Belgium control. A powerful header in the 87th minute that drifted just wide reminded everyone in that stadium exactly why Belgium came into this group as favourites. And then Egypt equalised. Their defensive structure, compact, disciplined, built on quick transition, made them one of the hardest teams Belgium had faced in years. When Salah is involved in the final third, there is always the threat of something extraordinary. The 1-1 scoreline was a fair reflection of a competitive open match. The atmosphere in Seattle delivered everything the tournament needed. Red everywhere. Belgian red against the distinctive Pharaoh's colours. A city that has been building its football culture for years, finally getting its World Cup moment. If you want the full story on every match and every controversy at this tournament, subscribe to Game Jam and hit the like button. We are covering everything all the way to the final on July 19th. And then the 92nd minute arrived. Yanick De Cuyper's challenge on an Egyptian player in the penalty area. The contact was there. The replays were shown on the stadium screen immediately, the big screen above the stands, visible to every fan inside Lumen Field. And Hosam Hassan, Egypt's head coach, one of the most decorated players in African football history, the man who scored 169 goals in 550 appearances for the Pharaohs during his playing career. He left his technical area completely. He didn't step toward the 4th official with a quiet word. He stood on the touchline pointing at the screen, furious, demanding. His body language broadcast something that coaching composure almost never allows in public. The BIN Sports live commentary confirmed it directly. Hassan completely lost his temper, furiously demanding a penalty while standing right on the touchline and putting massive pressure on the 4th official. The referee maintained his decision. There was no video assistant referee intervention. The match ended 1-1. The controversy has not stopped since. Whether De Cuyper's challenge constituted a foul in the area is the judgment call the referee made in real time. Whether it was the correct call is the question Egyptian fans, analysts and pundits are debating across every platform this morning. What is not in dispute is what the replays showed. What is not in dispute is how Hosam Hassan looked. And what is not in dispute is that Egypt versus Belgium at a World Cup has now produced a refereeing controversy. Again. Because here is where the historical pattern matters. In 2018, at Egypt's first World Cup since 1990, they lost to Russia 3-1. The Egyptian Football Association filed a formal complaint to FIFA, citing an Egyptian player being pushed before turning the ball into his own net for Russia's opening goal, and a penalty claim in the 78th minute that was waved away. The association president specifically said they wanted an investigation into the refereeing team's entire performance. No investigation was announced. No decision was reversed. Egypt went home without a point. In 2026, they have a point rather than 0. Salah is fit and dangerous. The team is organized and competitive, but the penalty Hosam Hassan believes was denied will sit alongside that 2018 complaint in the documented history of Egypt's relationship with World Cup refereeing decisions. Now bring it back to where we started. The 7 stars. FIFA told Egypt to remove the evidence of 7 continental championships from their own shirts 2 days before their opening match. Their chairman used the phrase Egypt's remarkable football heritage in a statement about why he hoped FIFA would reconsider. That phrase, used by their own chairman in a compliance statement about their own shirts, tells you everything about the mood Egypt carried into Lumen Field. When Hosam Hassan stood on that touchline in the 92nd minute, pointing at the replay screen, demanding to be seen, the immediate controversy was about a penalty decision. But the context was everything that had already been asked of Egypt before that moment: to remove their stars, to comply, to adjust, to arrive at a World Cup where 2 of their group opponents have supporters who can travel freely, while fans from Ivory Coast and Senegal, also in their group, face travel restrictions that make attending matches in the United States effectively impossible. He was not just demanding a penalty, he was demanding to be seen. That reading is not in any official report, but it sits underneath the 92nd minute for anyone who has been paying attention to what this tournament has done to African football representation, to African fan access, to the stars on Egypt's shirts. Egypt are very much alive in Group G. They face Iran next on June 21st at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, an opponent whose own participation has been surrounded by controversy and whose fans cannot attend. Then New Zealand. Win both, and they will be in a strong position for the knockout stage, for the first time in their history. Hassan's defensive structure makes them difficult to beat for anyone. Salah hasn't scored yet. When he does, it will change the entire atmosphere around this campaign. Belgium, meanwhile, face Iran. That match, on paper, should be comfortable, but nothing at this World Cup has been comfortable. Everything in Group G is still entirely open. What is not in question is Hosam Hassan's view of the 92nd minute. He was on the touchline. He saw the replay. He made his opinion visible to everyone in that stadium. The question this tournament keeps raising, match after match, decision after decision, is whether the pattern of moments like that one, repeated across enough games in enough groups, eventually changes something, or whether football's governing body absorbs it the same way it absorbed 2018, the same way it responded to the stars on Egypt's shirts with a 2-day deadline and a request to comply. Egypt came here to make history, the knockout stage for the first time, a Salah World Cup goal, a moment that belongs to them. Whether the referee in the 92nd minute was part of the story that helps them get there, or the story that stops them, that question does not have an answer yet. But Hassan knows what he saw on that screen, and so did everyone else in Seattle.